Good morning and welcome to the Chronic Pain Call-In Show, the only show about chronic pain where you can call in live. I'm your host, Joseph of Borg. I'm here every Sunday morning at 8 a.m. Pacific Time. I look forward to talking to you. All right, we got the tech all fixed this time. We had some chaos. I apologize to those of you who have been trying to tune in. We're going to run it smooth this time, I promise, because I forgot I had a video rendering in the background, and that was eating a ton of my bandwidth. So I want to thank you for your patience. Thank you for taking the time to come and visit with me Sunday morning. Yesterday was my birthday. I turned 52 years old yesterday. I was born late at night, and my mom was always teased by my grandmother that she waited all those years to have a kid, and then she finally almost had a groundhog. So anyway, that brings me around to just thanking you all for spending time with me. I want to share with you guys a couple of things today. Something new I'm going to have going on. For those of you who don't know, I actually have been making videos for a while, and I've had a couple of different ventures. I've got several different channels, and they're both on YouTube and Facebook, so whatever format you prefer, you can go to that format and view. If you want to catch the call-in show live and interact, since I don't have the bandwidth and obviously the tech equipment yet to stream to both at the same time, you will have to catch me on Facebook to catch the live stream. So thank you for the happy birthday wishes and welcome back, Wanda. I'm sorry to hear you've been sick. So yeah, you can only catch me actually and interact with the chat live on Facebook currently. If you do want to make a donation or support this, what I'm doing to help me get some better tech so I can stream to both at the same time, there's some links in the comments. Enough said on that. So the other channels I run, I happen to have started with a page called Surfing the Pain, and of course I have a page called Joseph of Borg for my persona pen name. Lately, I've really been focused on coming to you every Sunday here on the Chronic Pain Call-In Show. I also happen to have a spinal cord stimulator, and I wanted to create a page and a group on Facebook, and I also upload the videos to YouTube for people who are interested in spinal cord stimulators. They're a pretty unique surgery. I've got a group on Facebook with several thousand members where we try and shepherd people through the process, let them know what to expect to try and have them have as much success as possible. It is, like I said, kind of a unique process, but obviously not everybody who has chronic pain is interested in that, so I made that channel as an offshoot. Very few people who have successful surgeries of any type stick around the internet, so I wanted to give people a place where they could go. Sorry, after all this tech stuff, I feel a little tongue-tied. Someplace they could go for information about spinal cord stimulators, especially from those people who have had them and have had success with them, because we all know in every avenue of life, people like to bitch, and with most surgeries, that are serious. Success stories go back to having a life, which only leaves the failures hanging around the support groups and stuff. And let's face it, there's some people that just seem to delight in scaring the shit out of new people. So, for all those reasons, I created that group. Obviously, Sunday mornings, I'm here with you guys on the Chronic Pain Call-In Show. It is a live show. You can literally call in live. Today, I'm not sure if the phone is going to be working with all the tech adventures we had, but I don't really plan to be on that long today. After all this tech business, I'm pretty much very close to being out of my sit time to be in this chair. So I told you about spinal cord stimulator success stories. I told you about, well, obviously you know about Joseph of Borg and the Chronic Pain Call-In Show. I am resurrecting Surfing the Pain. I have some of my earliest videos on there. I'm in the process of editing those down, cleaning them up, and putting them on the pages where they fit the best. Again, not everybody who has chronic pain is interested in stimulators, etc. So what I'm going to be doing on chronic the pain, the excuse me, like I said, it's been a tough morning. What I'm going to be doing on Surfing the Pain is featuring other people who are surfing the pain, which is a term I use for managing pain because I really feel most of us get on a boom bust cycle where we way overdo it on days we feel decent and then we pay for it and crash, and it makes our lives very manic and causes a lot of stress. Finding that sweet spot between the bottom of the wave and the top of the wave helps you make progress. Um, and I really wanted to find a way that I could give back and pay it forward, if you will, to other people who are surfing the pain as well. So I want to reach out and help those who are creators and have something positive they found to do with their time or reinvented themselves in spite of or maybe because of their chronic pain. I make videos, so if you're out there and you watch this and you write a blog, make a vlog, maybe you're an artisan, maybe you make jewelry, whatever you do, if you're a chronic pain patient and you have something creative you do to help you out and to give you some purpose, I want to help promote you and get you exposure. Absolutely free, no hook, no sneak, no nothing shady going on. I just want to help promote other people since I've been blessed with this little bit of a platform who have chronic pain and are trying to do something positive because I feel that is really one of the primary things you have to do when your life changes. I've talked about grieving your old self and coming to grips with that, and then finding some purpose in life, finding something you can do positive with your time. Uh, so, with that, I'm going to cut it short this morning. I'm going to run a clip that I made recently with Michelle. You may know her from as Shelly, who shared her spinal cord stimulator story on that page. I'm going to run a clip that goes about 10 minutes to try and help promote her blog. Uh, she calls herself the Pain Geek, and you can find it at paingeek.net. So I guess you could say I'm premiering this clip with you guys. And if you want to see more things from people who and be introduced to more people who are chronic pain people, who also are creative people and have found an outlet to help them grow, check out Surfing the Pain. And with that, I'm going to run this clip. I thank you as always for spending time with me. One love, Joseph of Borg. I'm going to run the credits when the clip is over, so I'm out of here. Have a great day. Thanks for watching. Borg here today with Michelle Kuhn, who is the creator of the blog paingeek.net. I'm happy to have her on today. We've been friends for about a year. And Michelle, why don't you go ahead and tell us a little bit about yourself and who you are and what you got going on?
Sure. Like you, I'm a person living with chronic pain. And one of the things that I have to help me with my chronic pain is a spinal cord stimulator. And when I was thinking about getting a spinal cord stimulator, I actually typed in getting a spinal cord uh, stimulator or what to expect from a spinal cord stimulator. And all of your shows up on YouTube came up. Then I said, well, if I found this, let me try and go see if there's any pain groups, support groups. And I was in a different support group and I recognized your name, your Joseph of Borg. And that's when I think you had just started either, is it positive spinal cord experiences?
Spinal cord stimulator success stories.
Spinal cord stimulator success stories. And that's when I started watching you. And I remember reaching out to you and saying, Joe, I'm really scared. We had somebody on the community who, you know, was there and then obviously got knocked off. They were trying to scare people. They had a really unique situation. And so I reached out to you, and you basically said it's time for you to put your big girl underwear on and just go forward. And after that, I was like, this is the type of guy that I want to be friends with. And since then, we've been interacting on, Facebook Messenger. We talk every couple of weeks. The So my blog is called The Pain Geek, and the name Pain Geek comes back from the fact that I'm in chronic pain, and I tend to be a bit of a geek. Professionally, I'm a researcher and a statistician for a living. So I wanted something that was catchy, and I thought Pain Geek would be fun. I started the blog just because I needed a creative outlet. Um, I My situation is such that I have degenerative discs. I also have um, a narrowing of my spinal cord area, and I have chronic SI joint issues, sacroiliitis, and of course I have everything that goes with that, fibromyalgia and rheumatoid arthritis. And the last year or two, I've seen a significant progression in my medical issues, and so I've been caught at home more and more. And so I knew that for my own mental well being, I really needed to have an outlet to connect to other people with my issues, but also a creative outlet. Um, I Because I used to play in a lot of bands. I used to be gigging 4 or 5 nights a week, and I just had to stop doing that. And this blog helps me pay it forward and gives me an opportunity to have a creative outlet by writing about what I'm experiencing.
Actually, that's something that I talk about quite a bit. Is I think it's really important for those of us with chronic pain to find a purpose. You know, and if you can help other people, that helps you get out of your own headspace a little bit. But to find a purpose and to find something meaningful to do with your time, because so many of us do end up in a situation where it becomes more and more challenging to get out of the home. A lot of us end up having to leave our careers and move on to find a challenge and to find something productive to do with your time. I think is very important, like you said, just for our mental well-being. A lot of what I started doing when I first started doing my videos was also therapeutic for myself. Is it was a place to express and to verbalize and to get to put things out there. And at the beginning I really felt like I was kind of screaming into the dark, but better that than just keeping it bottled up. It was very therapeutic for myself, just to get a chance to say what I had to say. I can't afford necessarily to go to a therapist, but it still gives me a chance to articulate
Yep.
what's going on, and I believe words are containers for power. I think you purge a lot by talking about things.
I was going to say, this is almost like, I know some techniques people use is journaling. Well, this is almost a type of journaling, except I'm sharing it with other people. I'm sharing things that I initially thought was unique to me, but as I get connected with different chronic pain people through Facebook, there's a website called The Mighty, which is the biggest online community of people with disabilities. It's kind of like a central clearinghouse for all these different type of blogs. I'm beginning to find out, oh my gosh, your experience is not unique. And so I wish I knew about these things when my chronic pain started 9 years ago. And I'm just paying it forward, man. I don't want anybody to have to suffer um, any more than they need to. And I was going to say, another thing too is that I think that 4 years ago, things really changed for chronic pain people. As a result of those horrific CDC recommendations or guidelines that everybody took as basically an absolute government directive, I know my care, definitely declined. I started to get more doubted about my level of pain, and it part of the reason that I actually wound up getting a spinal cord stimulator was because the government is watching how much medication people prescribe and things along those lines. And I've noticed that since the CDC has come out with those revised guidelines, the doctors feel more comfortable.
Yeah, I call it the opiate witch hunt. Not to be
Absolutely.
immodest about it, but and for those of us in chronic pain, it can feel a lot like genocide. I've lost track, literally. Once I passed 20, I deliberately quit counting the number of
Yeah.
people I know who had managed their pain successfully for decades, in many cases using opioids responsibly, and then they were stripped away, and they
Yes.
ended up committing, suicide / euthanasia. It's a very fine line, I guess.
Oh,
But yeah, it's, and that's another reason why I really feel it's important for us to be out here and networking and reaching out, because there's millions of us. And you touched on something again that I try and hammer on a lot, is you're not alone. That's why I came up with uh, doing the chronic pain call-in show on Sunday mornings, is because, in part, because I can no longer attend church services. So I figured this was my way to have what my weird version of church is that the
yes.
people are the church, and it's a chance to try and do some fellowship. And I tried to make it as open and easy as possible, because not everybody, I have fine motor skills issues, so not everybody can type chat, not everybody's comfortable being on camera. And I thought if somebody could call in, and I was a big fan of Phil Donahue way back in the day.
Yes,
I
so was
grew up
I.
watching Phil. Yep. And I
We're
thought, you know what,
contemporaries, yes.
yeah, if people could call in as well, to make it, and they can email, to give them every possible aspect, to make it as easy as possible to reach out and network and communicate with one another, because there's great power in just knowing you're not alone.
Absolutely. And for the longest time, I was like, we have this 1-800 chronic, we have a suicide hotline. Um, what about this chronic pain hotline? And I recently joined a group on Facebook called Surviving Chronic Pain, and they're actually about to launch a 24-hour peer-to-peer, meaning hotline, or basically it's a virtual hotline. If you're having a difficult time, post something there and they will get you connected with somebody. Because a lot of times, you've mentioned before, between 2 a.m. and 6 a.m., that's when most of the world is asleep. And that's when we're sometimes up with pain insomnia. Or we're waiting for the pharmacy to open to get our new pain medication. Those are the loneliest, most difficult hours. I mean, I know frequently what Job must have felt like, quite frankly, during those 2 a.m. to 6 a.m., because you feel so alone. And if your pain's there, you just have to simply sit and experience it and be with it sometimes. So if I'm glad to see more and more attentions being developed, and it's frequently people who themselves are in chronic pain. There's an incredible amount of power and an incredible amount of empathy among people with chronic illness, and specifically chronic pain.